We here at Mayhem Media
understand the trials and tribulations of life.
No matter how hard life can get.
Suicide is never the answer.
There's more assistance available today than ever before.
If you or a loved one are suffering from suicidal thoughts, please don't try and take it on alone.
Call or text 988 if you live in the U.S.
Or if you're in Great Britain, call 116123 or text 85258.
The world is a better place with you in it.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Mayhemtainment. I am, of course, your host, JD, and I have a full roundtable today as we are going to talk about the entire Jurassic franchise. First off, joining me in a kind of co-host position is Mayhem Media's own Wolfman. Wolfman, thanks for joining me.
No problem.
To my right, on your left, everybody, is the crew from the Ricky Dink Bullshit Podcast, Big Bearded Dudley and Superfly Johnny Lee.
What's up, guys?
What's going on, guys? And of course, we have on my left side, on your right, we have Dan Bartley. And Dan, I'm sorry, I had your name of your podcast in front of me, and then I scrolled away. Yours is he hosts the Art of Facing the Moment podcast. It's a new one he's getting off the ground, but you also do a sports podcast as well. And of course, finally we get one of the trio on the show from Heels, Headlocks, and Havoc, the legend himself, J-Mac.
Thank you for having me on.
Absolutely. It's good to finally be able to, for us to be able to connect together here. And of course, I'm going to be on one of his shows here coming up in just, 6 or 7 days here. I'll be a guest on one of their shows.
Yes, sir. Next Saturday.
Next Saturday. And we're going to talk about the entire Jurassic franchise here. Sorry, as I get tongue twisted. I have a couple of visuals, and I asked everybody before this so that I could help break down the episode or so know how we wanted to do this. Everybody's, except for Wolfman, and we'll get to your favorite here in a few minutes, Wolfman, but everybody's favorite seems to be the first Jurassic Park. Is that pretty much the consensus here? The OG original Jurassic Park is the best.
Right. Yeah.
Yes.
And yeah. I can't disagree with that one. I completely agree with the Jurassic Park. And let's have a little fun with our viewers first. Any of our viewers, please leave in the comments, quote the scene here. What does Malcolm say in this scene? And leave it in the comments. Let's have a little fun with our viewers.
It's been so long.
And that's just one of the reasons that the first one is the best one by far. But Big Beard, let's go around and let's talk about why is it your favorite? Let's start with you, Big Beard. Why do you think why is it your favorite?
First off, I think the timing it came out. I think I was about 8 years old when it came out, so I was at the right age to where it really attracted me. When it came out, we got the video game for the Super Nintendo. Played that thing damn near every day. I forgot how many times I've seen the first one. It's been a while since I've seen it, but I've seen it at least 20, 30 times.
Yeah.
But it's a iconic cast, up and down, left, right. The cast is incredible. The idea, the concept behind it. And it's my favorite because after that, everything else just failed in comparison to me.
I would, yeah, we'll talk a little bit about that in a few minutes. Johnny Lee, why do you think the first one is so iconic, and why is it your favorite?
Because it's so iconic because it brought to life dinosaurs before we even knew what dinosaurs looked like in real life. It gave us a visual that can't be comprehended or replaced. And you can't replace a certain scene inside that movie that brought the tension and the fear that you felt for the children. Everything about the movie felt right. And it came out at the perfect time. And it gave us something special. Growing up, I always watched this movie. And I think I've seen it about 100 times now. It just holds up to this very day, 2025. You can go back and watch this movie. And it feels like it never aged. That's why I think it's the best movie.
Dan, let's go to you. Why is it your favorite?
I think it's just the overall chemistry of the actors throughout the movie. Even introducing young actors, the young boy and the young girl, and obviously you bring a good cast of crew to surround them. And then in 1993, I think relatively most of us were all pretty young when that rolled out. It wasn't like a big IMAX thing at that time. I think IMAX was just in its infancy. And I think now if you rewatch that when in high definition, it's still like the other gentleman said, it stands the test of time. It's still a phenomenal movie. And the animatronics that they use, still top notch, even to this day. It's just fantastic to watch, even all these years later.
You're right. It does hold up very well. J-Mac, what is your opinion on the first one? Why is it your favorite?
Well, Big Beard kind of, touched on it a second ago. The overall cast was just great. And I mean, you can't go wrong when you got Jeff Goldblum anyway, because I love Jeff Goldblum. But like they were saying, it just, up until that point when it came to dinosaur movies, it was like claymation and stuff, and it just the effects weren't, as believable and everything. But what they did with Jurassic Park, they made it, a believable, it didn't look like a toy versus a human being. It was more visually, I guess, appealing. And then just the story in and of itself, that the possibility, we knew at that time, Dolly the sheep was cloned. So, just the possibility of an island out there with dinosaurs on it, I think woke up a lot of people.
Yeah, absolutely. And I agree with you on the cast. I think Sam Neill as Dr. Grant, I would always pick Dr. Grant as my favorite character of really, I would pick him probably across the whole, all of the movies. I was never a Malcolm fan. He was always a little eccentric for me. I respect Jeff Goldblum now, now that I'm older and I understand how good he is at what he does. But at the time when I was young, I was definitely a Dr. Grant, serious, wait, this is not a time for joke. Dinosaurs are eating people kind of person.
Right.
So, but now that I'm a little older, I do respect his comedic timing. Again, with the, I don't think we got any comments coming in yet, but that is one big pile of shit. So his comedic timing in that movie. What?
My guess was I couldn't remember if it was big pile of shit or big pile of crap.
No, that's why it was so, because it was a movie aimed at kids. And it would not have worked had he said that is one big pile of crap. You had to just let that one slip through.
Yeah, I couldn't remember it. I was close though.
Yeah, that one just so in the first movie, is my visual gonna work? Okay. Who is the better antagonist in the first movie? Is it the T-Rex or the Raptors? Let's go the opposite way with Wolfman, Raptor, J-Mac.
I would say the Raptors.
The Raptors. Dan?
See, I would say the T-Rex.
The T-Rex. Johnny Lee?
Yeah.
The Raptors.
The Raptors. Big Beard?
Clever little girl, man. The Raptor.
Yep, the Raptors. I would have to go with the Raptors also.
Can I add on that I feel like the T-Rex was kind of the anti-hero. He wasn't, the good guy, but he was going to eat you if he could get a hold of you.
That's a good analogy.
but he kind of saved the day at the end of the,
Yeah,
In
yeah,
that
which is
climactic
actually,
moment.
is actually contrary to some of the other movies that they did going forward. So, well, since everybody's movie except for let's talk about Jurassic World then. Nobody picked 2 and 3. We'll talk about them in a moment. But Jurassic World, the bring back after 2 and 3, which weren't the best movies, but weren't the worst ones either, in my opinion. So, what are your guys' thoughts on Jurassic World? Are you a fan? I'm a big fan of Jurassic World. I think, and for reasons we'll probably get into in a little bit, I think it would have been fine to have Jurassic World and that be the end. Like have one movie like, hey, we're bringing it back. But I think they should have ended with Jurassic World. I think every single movie made after Jurassic World has been garbage. That's my opinion.
Yeah.
Big Beard, what are your thoughts on Jurassic World?
Honestly, I don't think I watched it. I get jaded with movies very easily when they just try to rehash it again.
I can understand that.
Like, Jurassic World could have been the best movie out there, but 2 and 3 left me so jaded I didn't even bother watching it.
Well, why didn't you like this? Then let's stay on 2 and 3 for a moment. What was it about 2 and 3 that you didn't like?
It was just I found them both very unnecessary. I forget which one it was, but like the dinosaurs ended up in New York or whatever. Like it went too far for me.
San
That was
Francisco
number 2.
was.
Yeah.
Or San Diego, maybe. Yeah. Oh man, that was.
I forget, but yeah, it's just too much.
Yeah, that was a little bit much.
That would be the second one.
Yeah, the second one. But the only thing I liked about that, the one thing I do like about that though, was they kind of gave us a false ending. Like we all thought. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but watching that movie, I kind of thought, oh, they're going to take the T-Rex to the mainland. That's what they're going to set up for for Jurassic Park 3. The payoff with the raptors and everything. That was the climax. So I do kind of like that they gave us like a false ending, and then all of a sudden, no, we're in San Diego, and then wait a minute. I was just about ready to get up and go to the car. Where are the credits? Where are the credits? So like I kind of like the false ending aspect of it that they gave us in the second one. Johnny Lee, the second or third one? What are your thoughts on that one?
Well, I found both movies to be tolerable, but they was not perfect movies. The second movie, just like Big Bird said, it did not need to have the dinosaurs in San Diego or New York, wherever the fuck it was. And the third movie, we probably didn't even need a third movie, honestly.
No.
But
I mean, I'm a big Dr. Grant fan, but I have to agree with you on that one. It really wasn't as important to do that. Wolfman,
it just feels like a studio money grab.
Yeah, exactly. Wolfman, I kind of skipped over you on the first one because you said it wasn't your first, but what are your thoughts on the first one? I mean, it still had to be the one that caught your attention as a child.
Yeah,
anyway,
that one originally got me into the Jurassic World universe.
Yeah.
Because I can't remember the character's name, but it was God damn it. What was his name? Samuel Jackson.
Oh yeah, Samuel Jackson. Arnold. I can't remember his full character name, or even if he had a full character name.
Yeah,
but
like as soon as I saw him, I'm like, holy shit, they got Samuel Jackson in this movie. It can't be that good. It can't be that bad,
Yeah.
It's like,
and then
if he's in it.
And then spoiler alert, everybody. And then when he's one of the ones that people die, you're like, oh man, they killed Samuel L. Anybody could go. Anybody's next. If they're killing him, anybody can be next.
Am I correct in remembering that that's one of the few movies he didn't use the MFer line?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and that's probably another reason why I didn't like it.
He substituted it in the first movie. Yeah, he substituted it with "Hang on to your butts."
Yep.
That was
when he turned off the power.
Yeah, that was the catchphrase that he used there in that one. But there aren't too many movies. Little side note there, J-Max, since you just brought that up, I just want to point out to you in the Star Wars movies. Okay, you've seen those?
Mm-hmm.
So in the third,
I know exactly where you're going.
Anybody who's seen them in the third movie, okay, when him and Anakin are talking, okay, about, and Anakin reveals that the Chancellor is the Sith Lord. You can add and get your, if this is not a kid friendly, I'll have to put a disclaimer on this episode later, but you can put the words motherfucker at the end of every single line that Samuel L. Jackson says during that interaction, and it fits. He pauses like he's going to say it. I think he does say it, and then they were just like, no, we can't allow this, man. You can say it how you
Can you
want.
imagine if
They
they
probably
did
said
that?
it.
They actually allowed that.
Well,
He
do
probably
you?
said
Oh,
it
go
during
ahead,
the
Supply.
first take.
I was just going to say, did you know that because of the fact that he couldn't say that, he actually carved those words into his lightsaber hilt?
Oh no, I didn't know that.
Yes. My sons are diehard Star Wars fans, so I mean, I was a big fan whenever I was a kid, but I created monsters with these kids. So like, yeah, they know every stupid little nuance fact of Star Wars.
Yep. Yeah. And the fact that he requested a purple lightsaber was also awesome. All right,
Yes.
that took us way off track. We were talking about Samuel Jackson. I had to bring up, especially since you brought up the MFer and him not saying it in Jurassic Park. I had to bring up the speech at the end of episode 3.
That's right.
I gotta ask everybody this: what is your favorite scene from the first movie?
Great question.
That's a really good question.
Ooh.
It is tough.
I'll start.
I'm gonna answer first since I think I have mine. I like when the power's off and the T-Rex comes up to the fence. I think that's when I think when he starts ripping through when the springs, to be specific, as soon as springs rip off the fencing, I'm like, oh dang, that's not good. So yeah, that's what I would choose.
I think I have two, but one is comedic, one is serious. And I mean, to me, it's an iconic scene is when the little girl takes the flashlight and you see that T-Rex face and eye up close for the first time. You know, that to me, that was a pretty, iconic. That little girl sold the scare. You could tell she was scared.
Meanwhile, you're screaming, turn it off.
Right.
Yeah.
Like you obviously see that he sees it. Let's turn that thing off real quick. But the comedic one is whenever it's chasing the Jeep and Jeff Goldblum is like, yes, drive faster, and he's like, yes,
gotta go faster.
I swear that's the only reason why they cast Jeff Goldblum was because he could deliver those lines like that.
And this one, I mean, you put the funny, your this would be mine, obviously, for the funniest scene. Yeah. So
he had the best lines as far as comedic lines.
Yeah. Dan, you have a favorite scene, or is anybody else? Who else is ready?
Oh yeah,
I got two favorite scenes.
There's a ton. Yeah.
Go ahead, Dan.
I'll go with one.
I said you first.
Yeah, I'd say the chase scene at the very middle of the movie, where he touched on, where must go faster. Just that whole chase scene with the T-Rex, and I feel like that's why the T-Rex is probably the biggest antagonist.
Yeah, that's a heck of a scene. I mean, when he kills Gennaro, I mean that's you're like, ooh. I mean, nobody cared about him, so it was like, oh well, that's all right.
Which is a funny scene too. He got eaten on the toilet. Okay.
Yeah, man. I love. Yeah, and then there's another comedic thing. With Jeff Goldblum saying, "Hey, when you gotta go, you gotta go."
That's right.
And then they turn around and the dinosaurs just like that's. They have great comedic on that one. Johnny Lee, Big Beard.
Mine would have to be. I mentioned it earlier. The Raptors going after the kids, and the little girl's hiding inside a kitchen. And you can feel the Raptors are getting closer to her. You're just screaming, hide, don't turn your head toward, don't look that way.
Yeah.
Didn't she have like a dishwasher or something?
It was like a little, it was like a dishwasher kind of a thing or something. And the reflection, the raptor ran right into it. But they did a great job with that. The viewers, I don't think the viewer knew that either. And then you saw the raptor just run right into it, and you're like, it was like a shock, like holy cow.
And she did a really good job of selling the fear she was feeling about those raptors.
Both the kids did a great job on that. They did a great job with casting both of those. I wish we would have gotten them more than just a little scene in the second episode. And we didn't even get any of the Jurassic Worlds either. I was disappointed with that. Big Beard, you got a favorite scene?
Mine's in the beginning when I forget his last name, but Alan is doing his little archaeological presentation, and the little kid says, I forget what he says, but the little kid says something
It doesn't look
snarky.
scary. More like a 6
Oh, it's like a big chicken.
Yeah, big chicken or whatever. So he grabs the claw.
Yeah.
He just goes up to that kid. He goes, they'll slice your belly and all that, and
the point
scares
is,
the shit out of that kid.
The point is,
that's my
you are alive when they start to eat you.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a great scene. Yeah, and Wolfman, this was your question. So, what are your favorite scenes in the first movie?
First movie would probably have to be, it's a toss up. It's the guy that gets eaten on the toilet, and I'm like, that's one way to go. At least he was sitting down.
Right. Him and Elvis have something in common.
And then when that big guy gets eaten by the Dilophosaurus.
Oh
Yes.
man, yeah, you're right. Great
Dennis
scene.
Nedry.
Great scene.
Oh, you talking about the
another
guy that
scene-
was stealing the DNA?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another scene that no one cared about when he died.
I was
Did you
surprised
know?
that.
Did you know that there is a fan theory that is actually Chunk from the Goonies?
Oh, jeez.
Oh man,
There
I
is.
would love to climb down that rabbit hole and see how they piece that together. I would also
It's
hate it
because of the
I
shirt.
kind of like
The
Chunk
shirt
from the
and
Goonies.
the parka.
The rain cloak.
Yeah.
So did he dye his hair?
You know what? Now that we just brought that up, we'll have to do a Goonies episode next year too, for sure. That'll be great as well. But I would love
Goonies
to go
never
down the
die.
rabbit hole. I'd love to go down the rabbit
Right,
hole of that
Goonies never
fan
die.
theory, to see what that's like. All right. The thing about Jurassic Park 2, this is the thing because I made visuals for it, so I'm going to bring it up. The thing about Jurassic Park 2 that I think was good was stay out of the long grass.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
And what do they
There you
do?
go.
They go right down the freaking middle of it.
Yep. So I just wanted to bring that up. This is one of my favorite, like, what the hell are you doing scenes in the movie. And I think that they let it unfold the way they had it zoomed out and they just show the Raptors closing in. So since we were talking about it and I made the visual, I wanted to bring that up from number 2.
And that's a good scene.
Oh.
Too.
Yeah.
And
They at least remembered that the Raptors are supposed to be scary during that scene.
yeah. And that was the number 2 was the first one that started to switch, where the Raptors really became the primary antagonist over the T-Rex. Like you guys said in the first one, the T-Rex kind of came in and stopped the Raptors, and that they continue that. But it's been other times it's the Raptors that are stopping the T-Rex.
Yeah. I got a fun fact for you, boss.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know if you know this, but there was one character that wore a cowboy hat with a long red beard. The professor, the college professor, he was actually a real college professor from the University of Minnesota.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
Okay. That is an interesting fact, and I did not know that.
So,
Nice. Yeah.
Of course, the second one, the Lost World, that's where we learned that there's a second island. Miraculously, now there's a second island. Coincidentally, you also, I don't know if anybody else knows this, every other movie up until Rebirth takes place on the alternate site.
Yep.
Yeah.
Only the first one and Rebirth take place on the original island.
Mhm.
The cool thing that I like about number 3 was the new dinosaur that they had actually uncovered. It's a real dinosaur. The Spinographic Egypticus.
Yeah.
One that they uncovered. There's actually 3. They don't have a full skeletal structure, but there's 3 different skeletal structures known on the planet, and all 3 of them combined is how they came up with this And then, of course, we get the infamous T-Rex against the Spinosaurus.
Yeah, that was a cool one.
It was a great scene. Now, historically, though, it's a little incorrect, though, because the Spinosaurus is actually not as big as the T-Rex. The T-Rex is a super predator, and the Spinosaurus is actually not classified. He's actually just under the T-Rex in the super predator category. So the T-Rex would have been like significantly larger than we saw in the movie.
Yeah, that thing would have been its lunch.
But it was cool that we got a new legitimate dinosaur, because that's also the last time we get a new legitimate dinosaur in the franchise as well.
Yeah, technically, yeah.
Which is why what I think separates the first three movies from every other movie after that, except Jurassic World. I do like Jurassic World, and we'll get to you in a second, Wolfman, about why you like Jurassic World. I think it was cool to bring it back. I think we needed to see it, but I think they unfolded it all sorts of incorrectly and wrongly. Despite Jurassic World being a good movie, and even though it still wasn't done right, Jurassic World should have been the dinosaurs getting off the island. 4, 5, and 6 should have been, all of that, not any of the other nonsense that they went with. So, but despite that, Jurassic World was a good movie. The addition of Chris Pratt, I was a little shaky on. After I watched it, I thought he did a great job. So, Wolfman, let's start with you first. Why did you like Jurassic World? Why is that your favorite?
Because I was kind of getting sick and tired of all like the lion dinosaurs and the air dinosaurs, like the pterodactyls and all that stuff. When they introduced the mosasaur in Jurassic World, I was like, oh my God, that thing is as big as a freaking megalodon. And I'm like, can you imagine if that thing was still alive today?
Hold on, I've had a visual for the mosasaurus. Where did it go?
I sent you one, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, you did. And I had one ready to go, but it's not in the studio. So I'm not sure where it went, but I'm sorry. I did have one. Actually, I had 2 pictures of the mosasaurus, and it doesn't look like either one of them. Oh, wait.
I actually have a mosasaurus tooth to show you guys if you want to see it.
This is from the new movie. It's from Rebirth, but I do have this one on here. So there's a picture of the mosasaurus, the sea-based.
Now, Rebirth is the one with Scarlett Johansson, correct?
Yeah, Scarlett Johansson. Yeah. And we'll get to that in just a minute. There's the tooth from it. And that's also another legitimate.
That's cool.
That is another legitimate dinosaur as well, which is also awesome. Does anybody have anything they want to talk about with Jurassic World?
I just wanted to say that to play devil's advocate, I actually really enjoyed that movie.
It was a good movie. Yeah, it really was.
I'm sorry. I meant part 2 because we were talking about it earlier. But Jurassic World as well too. I liked them both. I mean, up until what was it, the 4th one is whenever I watched the 4th one and I thought, not the 4th one, 5th one, and I thought, okay, it's okay, but it didn't really need to be done after, like you said, the Jurassic World. But money grabs.
Absolutely, and that's why I think Jurassic World was okay, despite the Indominus Rex. I was willing to put that aside because it was still a cool concept. They made the whole island into a resort instead of it just being like a park. It's like a Jurassic World resort. So I was okay with buying in on the premise. And this is the first movie with gene manipulation. And for any of our viewers, I want to ask you, hey, Andrew, thanks for tuning in. If you're still watching along and you want to hop in, let me know. I can send you a link. In fact, I'm going to send him a link anyway, just to see if he wants to hop in. But do you think that this was, in my opinion, I was willing to go this far, okay, with the Indominus Rex. But I think that they also opened the door. I think because it was a commercial success, Jurassic World, that they thought that they could go further leading into the other movies. And that's where I'm not a fan of. I'm not a fan of the stuff that happens after this.
Yeah. Jurassic World is pretty much like Universal Studios on steroids.
Yes. With deadly predators.
Good analogy. I like it.
So yeah, leave a comment if you think that one was the first one. Did they do it too far with the Indominus Rex? I was willing to accept it just for the they did a good job with everything else. I was willing to give them okay, fine. I get it. You have to make a new attraction. I figured that was going to be part of this in the first place. But everything after this, it gets completely ridiculous. And I think that's where it goes off the rails. That's where it goes off the rails for me. Number 5 and number 6, Fallen Kingdom. And then I can't even remember what 6 is off the top of my head right now. We get all of a sudden now John Hammond. And this is where I also don't like it. John Hammond now all of a sudden has a partner who we never knew about in making these things. And all of a sudden he has a huge hand in the genetic manipulation because he wanted to genetically clone his daughter, which he successfully did, which I'm sorry. And we don't get too much into this in the Mayhem Media side. We're not going to go too far down this rabbit hole, but any attempt by mankind of genetic manipulation will result in catastrophic events, a cataclysmic event on our planet and for our species. I don't care.
Elon Musk, I hope you're
listening. Thank you, Big Beard. I'm glad that some of you guys are on my side here. Any real, it's fine to do this in the movies. It's fine. Yeah, we can make dinosaurs. No, we really can't. Likely just a little bit they did in the first Jurassic Park movie. Likely made them look completely different from anything that they look like in actuality. Okay.
Exactly.
When you change the gene, even a 0.5%, the results are catastrophic and problematic. Okay. So you can't actually do this. We can't resurrect dinosaurs. Okay. We can't do it. We can't just fill in the genes with genomes from other species. No, we can't do that. It would create an abomination. So that's what my problem is with number 5 and number 6. And nor can we just create another clone of somebody perfectly without genetic mutation. You can't do that. You can't do that. It's impossible to do. I don't care what scientists are telling you. I am not a science person. I have no degrees. I have no PhDs. And I'm telling you it's impossible, okay? Because I understand that we can't do this. This is going beyond what humanity was allowed to do, okay? So that's my problems with 5 and 6.
And to your point, they even admitted in the first movie that they didn't have all the DNA structure, so they had to fill it in with, what was it, frog DNA?
Yeah.
Frogs.
Yeah, that was the excuse for how the raptors and other dinosaurs were starting to breed, because they used it with frogs, and then they switched it, and then that's how they were able to switch sex, because it was a single sex environment, which is also not going to happen in dinosaurs. You can take all the DNA frogs you want. Dan, I want to get you in here because you've been quiet for a minute, and everybody else has got big personalities, including myself. So, what are your thoughts on 4, 5, 6? What are your thoughts on that and gene manipulation and such?
Well, I do read the quotes from Elon Musk about that, and apparently, I was just reading it now, is we can create dinosaurs in the real world. You can mix crocodiles, anacondas, and certain iguanas. And then we can have a nice place somewhere in Hollywood and turn it into a big dinosaur festival. Scary to think, right, guys? Scary?
Listen, Elon Musk is smart with a lot of things, and then he is completely on the wrong side of some of the most dangerous stuff, like this dinosaur thing. I'm sorry, Elon, you're on the wrong side of that. You're also on the wrong side of AI, pal. Watch a movie. We're talking about the movie on why you don't create a park with dinosaurs. We're literally having a conversation about why you don't do that. They made 7 movies about it. Big Beard.
Exactly. I'll touch on Jurassic World.
Elon Musk is quoted as saying, "Be careful with AI." Like the front runner for AI is telling you to be careful with it. It is dangerous.
Yeah. Dan, you were going to talk about Jurassic World.
But yeah, Jurassic World, I think, is, for what it is, and you bring in Chris Pratt, Bryce Dallas Howard, you continue the kind of the saga a little bit. I think for what it is, it was well done, but I feel like it was kind of overly pushed. And I think you're kind of at that point, people are kind of like, okay, we need fresh ideas. So they're going to run out Blue, the fancy raptor, or the Indominus, or whatever other dinosaurs you want to keep rolling out and keep throwing at people. So you're going to keep kind of pushing it, because let's face it, you want to sell t-shirts and you want to make toys, because that's how you make money. So you can't hate the game, I guess. But overall, I think Jurassic, the franchise, and we're all gentlemen here, I feel like they always have the eye candy, whether it's Laura Dern, Bryce Dallas Howard, or Scarlett Johansson. So there's always the eye candy for the male viewers. There's always the aspect of you got to have like that male dominant role, whether it's Sam Neill, Chris Pratt, or the new guy. Obviously, it's in the new movie that a lot of people don't seem to like. But overall, like I don't hate on any of these movies. I really don't. But I feel like if I were to make judgment of the worst movie, it would probably be the third movie. I feel like they kind of went off the rails a little bit with that.
Interesting. Yeah, I definitely wouldn't choose the third. For me, again, Rebirth is, aside from the final scene of Rebirth, aside from this terrible abomination.
That was terrible.
Okay, aside from that, Rebirth was not super terrible. Needing to get the DNA from 3 of the super predators, for these reasons, while it was a stretch, again, I was willing to make that stretch to see where they were going with the movie. So everything short of that terrible, awful scene with the new antagonist, I think Rebirth was not that bad, but 5 and 6 were just garbage. And I think at the addition, it's not just the gene manipulation. I mean, that's terrible in itself, but it wasn't just that. It was also the introduction of now John Hammond all of a sudden has this brand new partner that nobody knew about, who now wants to clone his daughter. You added that to try and make sense of the movie. And there's enough. I think that's what you were saying, Dan. I think there's enough there in the Jurassic franchise, like in the world you're already building. You didn't need to go that route. You didn't have to go and do that.
As far as storytelling, it was too easy.
Yeah.
Oh, look, there's a mystery guy that's funding things too.
Yeah.
But here's the thing too. They waited a bunch of movies before introducing this partner that we never even knew about.
Yeah. Anybody else on 5 or 6 or anything?
All I gotta say is that Jurassic World did not need no sequels, and that only happened because they wanted a cash grab.
All right, let's talk about. There's one other thing I want to talk about though, and that's domesticating raptors. That's obviously a big story, not just through number 4, but number 5 and number 6 as well. Chris Pratt and his relationship. And my thinking is, of course, we're setting aside the fact that let's just assume that the DNA, all that aside, these are what raptors look like. These are legitimate dinosaur raptors. All right. Do you guys think is it plausible to domesticate a dinosaur?
No.
I said a dinosaur, not a raptor. Let's start with, is it possible to domesticate a dinosaur?
Here's my theory on it is when you watch a movie or other forms of entertainment, you're supposed to be able to suspend your disbelief. And that is, as far as the Jurassic World movies, that part right there was something I had a hard time suspending disbelief, because these things were literally, when they were around and when they were remade, cloned, they were literally hunting and killing machines.
So I'm glad I get to be the pro.
They weren't going to take 30 seconds to take a command. If boom, they're going to kill.
I'm going to take I'm so glad that I get to be the one who takes the pro on this one. So my argument to all of you then is, listen, if almost any other animal in the world, we have lions in zoos, we have hippopotamuses, we have plenty of predators in zoos, and even what you could call partially domesticated. Okay. My argument is if people can have tigers and lions in their home, of course, there's always a risk with predators. I'm not putting aside and saying it's 100% domesticated, it's 100% safe. But if we can domesticate some of these predators we already have, why is it not conceivable if you had a relationship with this animal from the time it came out of its egg, if it learned to eat out of your hand from the time it was young, why couldn't it be domesticated? That's my counter argument. If we can domesticate almost any other species on the planet, why does it begin and end with dinosaurs? And why can't it be? I would even go a step further. Why couldn't we do it the same way? The same risk would apply with raptors that would with tigers and lions. You're going to have a lion in your house, expect to be eaten by it. but people still have them, and they're still oftentimes they are safe. Not always. It's not safe. I'm not recommending, before anybody starts messaging me, I'm not recommending that anybody go get a lion or tiger in their house. Okay, they're not like animal
tigers and bears.
They're obviously
They can
predators.
betray you.
Don't head to the
my
mountains of
point is-
Kentucky and Appalachia looking for a mountain lion to bring home.
Oh, gee, that guy JD told me I could get a mountain lion and bring it home. I'm going to tame it. I'm going to train it. Oh, but it's going to eat me next.
But listen, we have some of these animals in zoos. They are domesticated up to a point. If we can do it with these animals, why couldn't it be done with predators?
I'm with JD on this. If we can have a grizzly bear riding a tricycle, I could have a T-Rex doing backflips.
Yeah, I don't see that. I don't really see the separation there. I don't see the difference. What would be the difference?
I can give you one example. Go ahead.
The biggest animal that we have now, closest to dinosaurs, is alligators and crocodiles. If you do any research, they're probably the closest living animal that we have still today. And if you go to like Gatorland in Florida, and if you watch any of these Steve Irwins, anything like that, they're you can't make them pets. But here, I would say, is the closest comparison that you can probably make them adaptable to you, but they can still, if hungry enough, they're still going to take your hand off.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, if people can domesticate even alligators and crocodiles and stuff, then why couldn't you domesticate a dinosaur? Up to a point, of course, because it is a predator. It is a carnivore.
My one example of why you can't is in 1981, and I just found this out too. There was a movie done by Melanie Griffith's mom and dad where they brought in over, 150 lions, tigers, and leopards and let them live in their house. And this was like a documentary style movie. Melanie Griffith was attacked. The house was destroyed.
But that's just bringing them. But that's just bringing them into the house, though. What if you were with them at birth, and especially if they didn't have an attachment to their mother, to their parent? Then I think that's what my argument is. If we can we do it now with lions and stuff. We separate them from their parent when it's appropriate, when they can survive on their own, to get rid of that bond. We feed them. They become dependent on our hand to feed them. As long as we keep feeding them, they'll keep behaving.
I just think that anybody who has the idea of doing something like that, a predatory animal as a domesticated animal, hasn't seen enough National Geographic.
Well, I would agree with you. I wouldn't be recommending people to bring them in their homes, but I'm saying if we got lions and tigers and bears in zoos and in circuses, we can have raptors and T-Rexes.
Make sure not to forget to feed them.
And in terms of why nothing is really as large or as close to that dinosaurs were and stuff, I could get into a whole philosophical conversation with you about the atmosphere, but then I would have to start quoting the Bible and start referencing the Bible, and that's the sister show. That's the Boiling Point podcast.
Hey,
so if you ever want to come on and have a conversation about that, let's have a conversation.
I want in on that one too.
Okay, excellent. I love that. Yeah. But we try and stray away from that. We keep the Mayhem Media just for entertainment. So we'll save the philosophical discussion for another time on our sister brand.
Works for me.
All right. So we went off on a complete thing there. What else was I going to say? I think Rebirth, let's just talk about Rebirth for a few minutes. And then if anybody else has any other final points, I think Rebirth was a good movie. Scarlett Johansson, I'm a huge Scarlett Johansson fan.
Me too.
Is there anybody here not a Scarlett Johansson fan?
If you're not, are you blind?
Yes.
So, I think it's great that she got a big fat Jurassic Park check after getting a big fat Marvel check. We now know that Scarlett Johansson never has to work again for the rest of her life, nor do her children, nor her grandchildren, nor her great grandchildren. But and she's great, and she did great, and it was not a bad premise. So this was my biggest complaint with Rebirth.
Yeah. That thing was earlier than.
See, now look, this is perfect. This is likely what dinosaurs look like if we try and mess with their genes. This is what they end up coming up like. That's the one thing I think Rebirth and even 5 and 6 did a little bit. They showed what can happen. They just don't present it as, oh, it can happen all the time. This is, oh, it only happens sometimes. No, it's the reverse. It's the if you get lucky, you get something that's legit, and the rest of the time you get this. This is this other one. If it pops up, I don't know if it's going to switch over. Can you guys see it? There it is. The brontosauruses with the big long cat-like lizard-like tails. Like,
man,
these are not the genetic changes that you're going to get. You're much more going to get ones that are like this. Okay, that's what happens when you mess with genome.
Exactly.
All right. Anybody else? Who else has got something? Anybody else want to?
As far as Rebirth goes, I'm just going to say this. I have tried to watch that movie 3 times and I've fallen asleep every single time. And it's not for lack of not being a Scarlett Johansson fan. I couldn't. I don't know if it was just like at that point, I was like, Lord, this is overkill.
I think it's slow.
I kind of tuned out. I don't know if that's what it was.
It's a big, long buildup, man. It takes us half the movie to even get to the island. I mean, I don't know. Right. I don't get what the whole buildup thing was. They did a lot of really weird stuff. I will say the only other thing that Rebirth did, effectively do, was actually showcase that dinosaurs would have likely, even if we had them and even if they got off the island, any dinosaurs that ventured beyond the equator, except for the ones that were meant to live in the cold, likely did die off very quickly. That is the only other accurate thing. The only climate, and that it's not even likely. It's just to be a small percentage of a chance that they would actually be able to survive right around the equator. Chances are that any attempt to remake dinosaurs or anything accurately remake would die quickly because they wouldn't survive in this climate. Our climate is way different than it was. By the way, they didn't exist millions of years ago. It was just a couple thousand years ago, and they existed with man. Now I've really just poked the bear. So I think with that, does anybody else want to have anything? Rebirth, Big Beard? Do you want to talk about Rebirth or Johnny Lee?
I might have to go and watch this now.
You're gonna have to go.
Yeah. Don't do it when you're tired.
Now you say it.
Go watch Rebirth. It's like I said, 5 and 6 are just I was ready to start throwing my TV and controllers.
Me too.
I hated 5 and 6. I'm sorry, they were just the worst piece of trash I've ever seen. But
you're damn right.
Rebirth wasn't that terrible.
No, I agree with you, JD. I think Rebirth actually, once you get to where the Mosasaurus is and they're in the water and they're starting to get there, it's actually not terrible. You do have that long wait of like, okay, are they ever going to get to the island? Are they ever going to do anything? And then when they get there, it is kind of nonstop. And the new introduction to the characters, obviously there's no more Alan Grant, there's no more Ellie Sattler, but there's a lot of other characters that get brought in that are like, oh, wow, these are cool characters. But overall, you're watching that movie, like, oh, there's Scarlett Johansson's character. Okay, we'll watch that. Because let's face it, she's really nice to watch. She's got a good character. I didn't like the ending. I kind of was like, okay, this is a long 2.5-hour movie for this ending. That's kind of what drew me out a little bit.
I agree with you. I think it was definitely a little longer than it needed to be. I don't think it needed to be as drawn out as it was, or at least give us something else to watch, like give us more reason to watch than what you gave us for that kind of a long, drawn out movie. And I mean, I'm sorry, but I kind of foresaw that as soon as you figure out they're going there to get medicine or to be able to replicate this stuff, to be able to make medicine for all these diseases, I said, okay, well, obviously we're going to get to a choice where somebody in this group wants to sell it. One person wants to give it away. We're obviously going to have that kind of face off at some point in this movie too. They did telegraph that, but I think at this point, how do you have that much without I mean, that's pretty much what Jurassic World is at this point. You know what I mean? Exactly. So, all right. So, does anybody else want to talk about anything?
Yeah, I got something for you guys, actually.
Dan, you said you have something?
Yeah. So, we're kind of winding things down with Rebirth. So, where do you go with the franchise? Do you feel like you need to end the franchise now? or do you feel like you bring in one more and you combine Owen and obviously bring Ellie back in, you bring everybody in one movie and kind of have a big send off, or do you just end it right there with Rebirth?
No, you keep going like Saw and Jason and all them other movies. Make 15 of them.
No, don't do that. That's what I'm saying.
If you're going to end it, I think we should just like make it to where they bring back all the people. If you want to go for maximum entertainment, because they've dragged this on for so long now, I think for the maximum entertainment, you just bring everybody back and everybody gets trapped on the island and the dinosaurs just eat them up. And that's the end of it. Because I just, like I said, I love whenever movies are, I don't mind if there's 6 movies in a series or 7 movies or whatever, but as long as the storytelling is good. Like I said, John Hammond's has all of a sudden got a mysterious partner. You know, it's just too easy of storytelling instead of getting in there and getting, you know, good writers to, you know, it doesn't even have to be a brand new concept, but it's got to be different. Because like with the first Jurassic World, I feel like it was just a rehash of the first one, but just slightly modified.
I agree. Exactly. I agree with that. I agree that the second 3 kind of felt like almost like it was a mirror of the first 3 movies, you know, just on like a grander stage and more with the genetic manipulation and stuff. You know, the only other thing that I did like about that is how they brought the doctor, the scientist back who actually from the first movie, who actually did the genetic genome splicing and stuff. And I did not like how he tried to buy back his, you know, his soul, so to speak, by switching sides at the end. I probably would have let him be eaten by the dinosaurs. But that's just my opinion on that. Wolfman, what do you think? Is there a future, or is this the end?
I don't know. I think they're just going to rehash it for the new generation, but if you ask me, I think they should just stick with what they got and just be happy it actually was a success.
Yeah.
And not just like beat a dead horse.
Yeah. Johnny Lee?
I just think that Jurassic World should have been the end of it. We didn't need no sequels to it.
Yeah. Big Beard, you agree with that?
Yeah, Jurassic World was perfect as is. Beginning, middle, end. It didn't need to go any further.
Yeah, it definitely didn't need to do what they did with it. But we'll see. Rumor has it. I've been saving this till right at the end, but rumor has it Rebirth is part of the 3rd part or final trilogy of what the Jurassic parks or worlds want to do.
Like, are they trying to be Star Wars?
Yeah,
that's exactly.
Yeah, they're going to go back into prequels and all that.
Yes, that's going to be a
galaxy far, far away.
Right.
Maybe a prequel or something. But yeah, from what I understand, it is. No, actually, I don't think it is going to be a prequel because they want to keep Scarlett Johansson. From what I understand, Scarlett Johansson's got a 3-movie deal with.
She's the only reason why to watch.
Park. So she could be locked in. Hey man, you know, I mean, what do you want when when they're just bringing dump trucks full of money to your front door and offloading it? What are you doing? No, please stop offloading from the dump trucks.
Don't put another $1 million in my bank account. How dare you?
Yeah,
just tell them to do it for the money.
My thing is I'm just glad, you know, at least with the franchise, they're trying to come up with new movies instead of here we are, you know, 30 years later after the first one. I'm tired of the reboots of movies and the reboots falling flat.
That's true.
There's nobody else going to replace that original cast to be able to reboot it. So
I absolutely don't want to reboot.
No,
I hate reboots with a passion.
Not all of them are horrible, but like there's
a few, but yeah,
they're horrible by nature.
Right. You know, I like, and like everybody's talking about, like, and not to get off track or anything, but just to compare, like the Ghostbusters reboots. It's like you're rebooting it, but you're still extending from the last story. You know what I'm saying? You're rebooting it in the sense that it hasn't been around for 30 plus years, you know.
Yeah. Well, that's different. I don't really consider that a reboot. I think a reboot is when you're like when you take the original idea and you recast it and you redo it, just like Red Dawn or True Grit.
Yes.
When the original movie doesn't exist, see with Ghostbusters, the first two movies still existed in that afterlife.
Right. Yeah. See. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
And then they made the actual reboot that happened in 2016.
With the girls, which was terrible.
Oh yeah,
that's
was terrible,
a reboot.
guys.
That was a whole reboot.
I must have missed that one. I'm thankful for that.
Yes. Yeah, don't waste your time.
Hey, don't waste your time. I'll tell you, if you watch it, you're gonna be massively disappointed.
Unless you need a 2-hour nap.
Yeah,
it was bad. It was so bad. Afterlife didn't even mention it.
Yeah, they completely ignored that ever existed.
Wow. I know Afterlife was trying to bring the Ghostbusters like kind of full circle. So
yeah, they left that female cast completely out.
Yeah, well, that was an abomination. That's like, I'm sorry, that's like Michael Bay's. That's like Michael Bay's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yes.
We don't talk about them here. Do you understand? We don't talk about them on this under this flag. Okay.
Right. Give me the secret of the ooze all day long.
Yeah. Wolfman, do you have any thoughts on the Michael Bay Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles?
Not really. I like the OGs better.
All right, that was the right answer if you wanted to stay employed here. Okay,
I'm with Robot Chicken. Blam 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 explosion, explosion, blam.
Wow, Robot Chicken going old school now on us. All right. Before we all start showing our age, not that that's not apparent, but I think we can. We're coming up on about an hour, so I think it's good to close out there. So make sure you check out Headlocks, Heels, and Havoc with J-Mac, and he is a third of the group over there. He's only 1/3 of the group. Check out Dan Bartley. He's got his sports podcast, which I'm sorry, man. I keep having it in front of me, and then the window keeps getting closed on me. So what is the name of your show so that people can find you?
DSD Sports Chat and the Art of Facing the Moment, which a new episode drops tomorrow.
Okay, excellent. And hopefully some of my guys or us will come on one of his shows. Hopefully we will be able to have him back for more shows as well in the new year. This is we have a Christmas episode next weekend, but that'll be the end of our season finale. Go check out Johnny Lee and Big Bearded Dudley over there at the Nice Guy Andy podcast and the Rinky Dink Bullshit podcast and all their other brands that they're expanding on now. They're very industrious like I am. The difference is that they have like 6 or 7 guys who all do a bunch of stuff, and me and Wolfman and 2 or 3 other guys try and do everything we're trying to do.
Yeah, and I believe this is my last show until the new year.
Yes, because I don't think you're making it for the Christmas episode.
Nope, I am not able to.
Yeah, the Christmas episode next weekend for us, for Mayhem Media. But other than that, that is going to be the end for Mayhem Media. So I appreciate it. Go check out all of our friends who are here on the screen with us. Go subscribe to them, share them out, tell them that Mayhem Media sent you. We'll obviously keep sharing their stuff out on our pages as well. Anyway, until next week, I am your host, JD, and that's the end.
Much love.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks, guys. Have a good night.